live stream, and I will try to answer the most questions that you guys give me, and I'll do a Q&A. We'll run through some projects. I've got a lot of music ready, and maybe we can skip to some old tunes and maybe spill the beans about some techniques and everything. Feel free, and everyone, please welcome. Just follow me to the studio. This is actually this is where I work, and it's in Holland here. It's actually a very small place, but this is it. And I've got a really basic setup with, at the left we have Moog here. And actually I use this in not a lot of tracks because I never have the time to record and everything because it's not a plugin. So, but it's very cool because the sound it gives is very analog. It's really cool. And I have a machine here. Actually, I've never really had the time to really discover how it works, but I use the plugin a lot for, you know, for samples and loops and everything. It's very cool to cut samples, and you know, it's definitely something that you should check out. You can do live drums on this thing. I've seen it working live, and I've tried it out in the shop, but I never had the time to really do it here. Yeah, well, I got some compression stuff here. This is an Avalon I use for recording vocals, and actually, yeah, it's not really doing something else than just recording the vocals. So the other one here is for the master. It's a stereo compressor, and I just got it recently, and it's very cool to use on your master and everything, or actually everything which is stereo. It's really cool, nice attack, and it's really warm because it's got tubes and everything. So that's cool. Well, yeah, this is like my studio monitor setup. I have Channel X, the old ones here, just as a reference, and they sound really hi-fi, so I can kind of switch and try to, you know, switch in between the Channel X and the KRK. The other ones are KRK VXT8s, and this is one of the bigger series from KRK. It's not really like the most expensive speaker, but I think you have them for like 600 euros. Then you have one piece. So that's a cool thing. The sound is really powerful, and that's why I like it. I like to play loud sometimes. So it's very good for your low frequencies, and I like to work with it a lot. Then I have the monitor control here. I know a lot of people ask me what kind of stuff it is, and it's called Dangerous Monitor Control. And the cool thing is you can switch in between monitors from the KRK to the Channel X with just one click, and you can add a subwoofer on it. And that's something that I really like, because sometimes you want to mix with the low frequencies, and sometimes you want to mix only with low frequencies so you can get your kick and bass right. So that's the thing, and that's why I try to use the sub function a lot. Also, you can mute left and right, and you can make your sound mono, and that's something that I really appreciate, because, you know, like the low frequencies, it's always like important to mix them mono instead of stereo. So everything under like 400 hertz, 300 hertz, depends on the track. I'll make it mono in the project, and that's why this thing is really nice to work with. So that one is called the Dangerous Monitor Control. Furthermore, I have the Apple screen. It's really basic, and I have like a MIDI setup here, and it's a very basic MIDI keyboard. And the rest of the studio is actually this. This is my Mascotti, and a lot of people know it probably from Toulouse. It started as an idea and as a joke actually, but it got pretty serious now after like 20 million views on YouTube, so that's funny. Here we have the Motu. It's like my sound card, and it's got 12 inputs and outputs. I don't know what I use it for, and I actually never use 12 outputs. The only thing I use it for is for the synth, like the Moog. I have to use it for the compressor to send it back and forth. I have an old Roland here, and I have the Mofo, and that's the only thing I use. So I use like 4 or 5 inputs, and that's it. Then I have the Access Virus here, and many people of you asked me how I made the Camorra sound or the Rocking High sound, and also the main part of the Seaman, which is out now on Tourum. That synth is also coming from this little thing here. They call it the Access Virus, and the cool thing is you can connect it as USB, so it's really it's easy to use, and you don't need all the stuff like to rewire and everything. Everything runs really smooth on the Access Virus, so really check it out. And yeah, this is it. This is actually my workspace here. So If you want, you can send me your questions to make sure you put it on Twitter and you write like hashtag Ask Nicky and then you write @Nicky Romero for something and send your question and I'll try to answer it here as good as possible. I'll be running through some master stuff and through some projects and everything. Just let me know what you want to know and if you have any particular questions about mixing, maybe about, I don't know, you want to know something about compression or something, anything you want to know, like I can try to give you an answer here on my production side. So make sure you tweet @Nicky Romero, hashtag Ask Nicky, and I'll try to answer you as quick as possible. So let's just run through the setup here. Let me see. So this should work. Let me see. Okay, so here we have the project of, this one is called Hot Right Now. I produced it on Rihanna's album and it's number 7. I did it with David Guetta together and as everybody, like if you know the album, Unapologetic, it's out now, and number 7 and number 1 I worked a little bit on as well, First of the One Way, and this one is Right Now. I have the project here, so if you don't know the track, you can listen it on our album. It's number 7, Right Now, and the full project and the full thing is on here on my computer, so we can run through some stuff and some instruments. Actually, this track is really easy and really basic. It's not really something special, and I think it's more about the hook than about the technique in this track. The vocals here are still Neo's vocals, as he was one of the first that wrote the hook, and he sung it for the first time and we recorded that version, so I have the Neo vocals here, so if you think it sounds different, that's right, because this is Neo. So basically you guys should have sound right now.
So get up right now, cause all we got is right now. Tomorrow way too far away, and we can get back yesterday.
So this is the original vocals, and so we have some instruments here that we used. It starts as really easy.
Tomorrow way too far away.
So we started the track and we decided to use a very warm chord because the song really asked for warm chords. It was about love, like every song actually. But so we took a very smooth instrument, and this one is silent. We just put a very high filter because if you take the original sound, so this is the sound filtered, and then we're gonna go to the drop. No, that must be something like this. Right, so this is the drop. And if I'm gonna, I'll show you some elements here that I used for this track. Then we have, I'll just solo them sound by sound so you can listen to what it's built of. So we have the kick here, and that kick I also used from Metropolis. It's a really short kick and really punchy. I think it's very important if you want to master your songs that you always look at what kind of kick bass you want to have as it makes your track. I think it's very important to have a small kick when you want to use a long bass, or you want to use a long kick and a small bass. It's very important to always make sure that, nothing works against each other. If you would have a too long kick drum and a bass at the same time, then it's not gonna work your master. It's gonna sound blurry and everything. It's something that I learned, and as long as I'm producing now and I'm using it every day, just like deodorant, to make sure that your bass and your kick drum always sounds right to each other. So a very short kick drum. Then we have, let me see. Yeah, then we have a loop here and a clap. It's just like a loop I used to stretch. It was actually one hat, and I tried to make like a groovy stuff out of it. I used Flex Tool for that in Logic, and the Flex Tool makes sure that you keep your groove. Even if you put it on the wrong quantize, it always makes the groove fit to your track. So it's a Flex Tool in Logic that works really great. What?
Life is for living and time never stops.
We have a clap here. And you recognize this probably from Toulouse because it's the first part of the Toulouse clap and also the cymbal. So that together makes.
Even if you do or not, so let's enjoy every second.
Very important here if you listen to the vocal.
Life is for living and time never.
Like the vocal is very heavy sidechained, so like you keep the groove in the track and it's not gonna distort with the rest. So we decided to use a sidechain on the vocal as well. Then we have
Life is for living
the bass.
and time never stops. It keeps on moving.
And the bass is just a sample, and I sampled that sound. As you can hear, actually the sound is this. Now it's very, you can hear everything now, I think. It's just like a sample from the Moog, from the little fatty I have here. That's why it sounds so analog, and it sounds like it's moving a little bit, like a chorus or something. I don't really know how to name it, but it sounds like it's moving all the time. It's not like a straight bass. So there's just a filter shape. That's a plugin that's used for sidechaining and to make sure that it stops at the right time when the kick hits. I have a gain and an overdrive to make sure that it's got the sound that I wanted to. So the whole package is going to sound like. Now we have this sound here. That's basically just massive on a bus with a few plugins. I used a channel EQ, a chorus, and an overdrive. And that makes it a little bit dirty, but that's it. Like nothing really special happens here. Then we have this part here. Doesn't sound so great if you listen to it solo, the chords, but if you add it to the other sound, then it's gonna sound pretty cool. And this is actually a really cheap preset from the Nexus that has been layered with 4 instruments, because if you listen to it solo, it sounds really cheap. But if you layer this with the other one and the all other ones I have, then we have a small piano here. That's from Contact. I think Contact has the best pianos. Like I always struggle to find the right piano, but this one sounds really, really good if you ask me. So I tried to use the Contact piano. It's just a basic piano that comes with the package. So that's in there, and altogether it sounds like. Right? And then we have this one. I think I forgot this one. The cool one is that this is not the Massive. Like everybody thought it was the Massive that I used here. It's a new synth I use a lot. It's called the Anna. And it's just like a very basic LFO sounding. What is it? You see, it's like a very easy, cheesy synth, but if you layer it with a good bass, it sounds pretty cool. So actually, it's really. Well, that's it. And then I have a layer from Massive. that plays the same thing. And that's it. There we go. So that's basically the bass part and the real like easy like the start of the project done right now for Rihanna, and it turned out to be yeah, pretty good track for an album. So I'm super happy that I did that. Let's do a few questions because I see people are reacting on Twitter. Then we have let me see. At Hypnoski, hi, what could you give advice for novice producers to get frequencies, balanced mix, tight bass, and kick relations? Yeah, what I just tried to explain was to Hypnoski is I think it's very important that you have your that you decide for yourself what you want to have. You want to have either a small kick drum and a long bass, or you want to have a long kick drum and a short bass. Like if you look at the for example, the Showtech tracks, or like the one that's out now, the Code, has a very long kick drum, and that kick drum makes the track. So if you have a long kick drum, then you don't really need a bass. So or a really small one. So you either should decide what you want to do. You want to have a track with a small kick drum. For example, the dubstep sounds, Skrillex sounds. It's all like very short kick drums and very long and fat basses. So if you know like what kind of track you want to do and you choose a short kick drum, for example, I used on right now here, it's very short. It's a very short kick. Then you have a lot of space and a lot of air to kind of place other instruments like big basses and everything. So I think that's very important. Then we have PG Empire. Could you go into more detail on bus process for drum and other material before it hits the master bus? To be really honest with you, PG Empire, I don't really use buses for drums, but if I use compression, then I always use the UAD one, and it's called the 4K bus compressor. And what I do, I try to make sure that that all drums are bussed together. And I actually did that on Metropolis, I think. I make sure that all the instruments, except of the kick drum, like all percussion instruments, goes to one bus. And I put the 4K bus compressor on it to make sure it got a little edge. And a very short attack, and like actually also very, like, let me see like what my setting is here. I made another one not too long ago. So my setting for, let me see, would be, yeah, I have my threshold like maybe on -3, and I do a makeup gain. It's always depending about how loud your sound is and about how loud the bus already is, of course. I have it at +1, and then I have a attack of like in between 10 and 20 milliseconds, depending on what kind of sound you could try to compress. I have a release of like 6 seconds, like milliseconds, and that's it. Like I don't really do anything else. I have a ratio of 10 at this time, but that's it. Nothing really special. But I usually never really use bus compression. I don't think it's needed. Then we have Sam Lynch, at Sam Lynch 92. Any new upcoming artists who should look out for this year? Ask Nicky. Yeah. You know, Sam, I think there's a lot of good artists at the moment. We have, for me, it's Tony Romero, who made a great track called Pandora. And for the people who don't know it, I can quickly import it in here. It was on my label, and I think that these kind of guys really do a great job. And I think especially nowadays, it's very important that you find new people with new kind of sounds, because everybody really makes the same. I literally, you know, if you prepare a set, you really have to make sure that you play the right sounds, because everything sounds like each other. And I have to confess also, everyone inspires their tracks from someone, and also me, I always take a track and then I'm like, hey, this is great, or let's do something like this. But like everything sounds so much the same that it's very important that you have your own sound, especially for beginning producers. So this is the Pandora track. Oh, there we go. And I see that this one is not going through to you guys. Let me see. This should work. Yeah, for me this was really new and really fresh that someone used this kind of sounds for a drop, and it sounded a little bit like Atom. That's what reminded me to this track, but I think was pretty fresh in the break. And so Tony Romero is a new guy you really should watch out for. I think Nilsson and Vince Moogin are guys that you really look out for. I like Dyro a lot. I have a new track with Dyro coming up. And well, yeah, new producers, there are way more. I think Vicetone is doing great from Holland. And let me think, I play a lot of tunes from, well, yeah, Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike, but they're not really upcoming, they're already there. I think they're doing great now. We have more. Joe A2821. How did you learn the technical side of producing, like mastering, mixing, EQ, synthesis, and stuff like that? Well, Joe, you know, the thing is, you should have to start with producing. Like even now, actually every day, I see things that I don't understand or like I don't know how it works. I open new plugins and I try to use new techniques and I Google. I try to use new ways of compression and everything. So you keep learning every day. And I think the most important thing that if you want to be a good producer, that you just practice as much as you can. I mean, it's very important that you take the time and make sure you kind of use all free time to produce, because that's how I started. That's why I never really graduated on a university or something, because I was always busy with making music, and it really like yeah, it was like the thing that I loved the most. So let me see what we have more. We have my bro Brennan. Any tips for mixing in toms with bass lines? What kind of toms do you mean? If you want to use toms like percussion, I think it's very important that you should. Oh, sorry guys. So let me see, toms with bass lines, kicks. I think it's very important. Let me see if I can open a project where I did that. I think. Let me see. For example, yeah, I have here. I'm gonna open my remix from Madonna, Give Me All Your Love, if it works. You never really know. I think it's important if you mix toms that you should look out and make sure that the EQ is always set to a certain level that it does not like clinch with your, or like does not like, so that distort with your bass. So for example, if you have a bass, I think it's important if you have a tom which is really low, that you cut it off at like let's say 100 or maybe 80 hertz, or maybe, depends on what kind of bass line you have, of course, 150. Always make sure that your tom never goes like lower in frequencies than 150. That's the rule that I try to do. So let me see if I have an example here. That's very old. Let me see if I have another project. I try to, otherwise I'll just do it live. I'll get back to you real soon. My bro Brennan, I'm gonna get back to you about the mix line with toms and kicks. DJ Harry 96. What do you use more, loops or samples? I always try to cut my samples out of loops, and sometimes I even cut my samples from tracks. So I use a lot of sample magic, and I use a lot of vengeance, of course, like everyone does. But I always try to make sure that I don't take complete loops. I always try to chop them up so you have something unique, and I'll bounce. I'll try to bounce like a chopped up loop with a lot of effects, like a bit crushing or reverb, a very short reverb with a lot of attack, so it sounds slightly different or even completely different than the original. I think that's really important. Then we have Joey Caprio. I think, what do you use in your master chain? Honestly, Joey, I never really use a lot, and it's different every time. For example, on Toulouse, I used the UAD precision limiter. It's a package that comes with the UAD hardware stuff. It's a card that you can buy, or even like a device you can buy on your computer. And yeah, honestly, Honestly, you can use whatever you want. I mean, I think the L2 is great for limiting, and for me, the 88RS EQ from UAD works great as well. It's like a really analog sounding EQ. And I just found the Brainworks package that has a BX Digital, where you can make your whole mix mono. You can decide what kind of frequency you want to use to make things mono. So that's a great device as well, if you ask me. I'm gonna try to get back about the tom thing here, if everything works. Let me see. So yeah, that's about the limiting thing. I'm gonna load a kick drum here so we can have a real quick example. Alright, so I'll just take this kick drum here, just for a quick example. Right. So you guys should hear the kick drum now. For example, a very short kick. Also, this one is pretty short. I haven't even used this kick drum, so it's a new one that I made lately. I'm gonna take a tom real quick. Let me see, tom. EXS. Instruments. It's not even that easy if you want to have a quick tom. All right. I love the fact that everything works great. Actually, it doesn't. But sample magic, things, toms. Oh yeah, this one should be a good one. Like everyone knows this kick drum from Leave the World Behind. I'll try to mix it in real quick and see what kind of EQ settings I use. Everyone knows this one probably. Right. Well, this one doesn't really go that low, so it's not really that much of a problem to mix this one in. But if I would make an EQ setting, I make like for this one I would go for like a low cut from 120 or to 150. As you can hear, it sounds pretty tight already without doing anything because it's the right kick drum. And also it's important that what kind of key you do it. I think it's very important that your toms like go on the same key as the whole track. Even your kick drum should be in the same key as your bass. I think that's very important. So if your track is in G, make sure your kick drum is in G and also your bass is in G. So real quick, if I would add a loop just to make it sound like a track a little bit. Right, there we go. Well, there's actually nothing really special. I just EQ and take the low frequencies everywhere. I do a small sidechain. I try to use the filter shape. It's like a new plugin that works. You can draw your own sidechain really like as you wanna do it. So I'll just do it real quick so you can see what I do. Or we take the LFO tool today. It's also a great one. I take the sidechain preset here. I just adjust it. As you can hear, the claps is really like, they're going off now, so we're going to put that on a different channel. So just make sure that you have that you don't have anything in your mix that you don't want. So on the kick, on the punch, it's very important that you have no hi-hats or no rides, and if you have a ride, make sure that it doesn't conflict or distort with the punch of the kick. So I always try to avoid it by using this LFO tool and everything that I don't want to have on the punch. And sometimes you have to do something on the punch like effects or maybe a ride, but then I always try to do a little delay so still the punch of the kick stays solo. So you always have this punchy kick and that your kick punches through, so that's very important. Yeah, let's do some questions here. We have Liam Barnaz. If you had to use the Logic compressor on the master strip, what setting would you use? On the master strip, honestly, I never really used the compressor of Logic on the master strip, but if you wanna do a setting on it, I would definitely do something not too crazy. You know what? It's very hard to say because it depends on the track. If you have a very long kick drum, then your settings are different than a very short kick drum. So it depends on what kind of track. For me, if I use a compressor on a master, which I rarely do, then I would go for a little basic settings. Let me see if I have something here that I did. I would go for a attack of in between 5 and 8 milliseconds and a release of 110 and a ratio of 3, 0.9, 0.1, and a little bit of threshold. Depends on how much you want to have your mix in the compressor. So, and the gain depends on the volume of your track as well. Let me see, YOLO. Did you first start producing or remixing? Arnie, 1793. No, I started producing. Actually, one of my first songs sounds really horrible. I think I have it here because this is the computer that I used to make the songs. I import it real quick. It's called Function 1. That was my first real track. Oh, actually, I did the Dino Babies as well. It's like a bootleg kind of thing. But this was the first track that I ever did. It was made in Fruity Loops, actually. I think it's just like a bunch of layered stuff together and so that was one of the first tracks that I ever did. It's not really something to be proud of though. Let me see if I have the other one. I go back in 2000. I can play you some old stuff as well that I started with. 2008. Dino Babies. Okay, this was my first track, I'm sorry. This one. Also made in Fruity Loops.
Jongens zijn een hele lieve meid. Dino Baby spelen, want ze hebben alle tijd. Het is een groepje van de jongens en een hele lieve meid. Dino Baby spelen, want ze hebben alle tijd.
Alright, it's really true. I made that song and I think it's still on YouTube under Dino Babies remix. And But it started more as a joke. Sorry. Let me see. We have Psycho 777, the best synth to produce a whole track. Honestly, Psycho, I don't have a particular synth I always use. I like the Massive, I like the Anna, and I do like the, let me see, a new one called the Cyclop. It's a new synth by Sugarbytes, which also did the famous effect stuff. We have Steve XB. How'd you came up with the melodies? Most of the time, I just kind of play around with an instrument. For example, I'm gonna load an instrument here, just like from Symphonica or something. Filter, so you can listen to what I do. I think I have it here. Put it on the bus so you guys can hear it. Okay, well, this one is filtered. I'm gonna take the other one real quick. I most of the time just go in a key and I just most of the time I look at the key and a chord, and out of that chord I'm gonna try to make like a melody, and I most of the time just put on a beat or a kick drum, and out of that, for example, I'm gonna put this kick here, like we just made. For example. So that's actually where I start with, and I just try to take the chords and, you know, literally draw. For example, if I would record this here real quick, then I'm just gonna draw it. This is actually how I start just now, what we're doing now with a kick drum and an instrument that I do. Let's do it. So that's it. I'm just gonna quantize them. So I just take off the effects, and then we have this. So that's actually the bass. Oh, sorry about that. For example, we just made. And I just go through some instruments and I try to find the right instruments for the track, and I have an idea that I want to do. And for this track, that was a Massive that I... Oh, sorry for the loud. So if I just copy this to the other one, then you have the whole track basically. But then, force legato, sorry. Well, basically that's actually how it works, nothing more, nothing less. Take off the... Even I think this one should really need a little more sidechain though. So that's actually the base of the whole track. Just start it with a melody. Let me see. Then we have Cleve Montero. What kind of things inspire you to make tracks like Toulouse, Metropolis, and Iron? You know, I always try to listen to different stuff that are not is not particularly house music. So, for example, I would just, I don't know, like listen to. I can actually tell you the most inspiration songs for Toulouse. It was really easy. It was a hardstyle song that really inspired me for Toulouse, and nobody really used the modern talking sound. For those who don't know what kind of stuff that is, I'll just load it real quickly. Also really easy from Logic. That's something that I have to admit that Logic has. You can save channel strips, so you can really quickly get your instruments that you made before back in a project that you want to use. So for example, I want to have the Modern Talking synth of Toulouse now. I can just go my Toulouse project and import it right away. And then we should have it here by now. As you can hear, it's very easy sounding synth, but nobody used it back then, and that's why I tried to do just a drop with that sound. And also for this one, it's really easy. The drop is really easy. I think it's very important to just keep it easy and not go too difficult. Oh, sorry about that. Something going on. That must be like the melody. So basically, yeah, that's like, I always listen to hardstyle songs or Wild Styles actually came up with this idea. He's a hardstyle producer, and he said like, hey, why don't you do something with a massive and do more rough and more like modern talking kind of stuff? And I was like, hey, why not? So on a night, I just made this sound and I just made a kick, and that was it. I just put it together, and then the whole track born, and out of this I just like took the melody and I started the melody, and it was, I don't know, everything went really fast. By the way, the song that I just played is a real cool song. It's like a special edit of Symphonica that nobody ever heard yet, not even in my sets. We have this one, and if you're more of the trap music, this one is also coming up with the remix package, so like an exclusive preview with you guys here. So all this stuff is coming up with the release of Symphonica. We have a great video for that one as well, and I think we're gonna have a hardstyle release remix on it as well. So keep you tuned about that. Let's do a few more questions. I think, let me see, what do we have here? Johan, how did the track I Could Be the One with Avicii born? It's really funny. Let me see, I think I also have older versions of I Could Be the One. Let me see if I can find it real quick. The nickname. Let me see, vocal edits. Yeah, actually it started out as an idea. that we did for, we wanted to do something new, and Avicii wanted to do something else than what he usually did with chords. As, I'm not really good in chords, so I have to confess that. And he was like, hey, maybe we can do something of both worlds. And he got up with this melody, like well, it was fine, and I think that was already a great melody. And then he was like, yeah, I want to do something different. So I flew to Stockholm, and we were in the studio for like 7 hours. We had some pizza, and I don't know, we just made the song. I know the session is recorded as well, so we should have video footage of it. Maybe I should ask if we can upload it at one time. But so we made this part, and he was like, yeah, I want to have this tune, and like the vocal that we had, and the chords that we had, and he was like, yeah, I want to do something else. So I decided to make the drop go like not as a chord, like straight after the second break. So this everyone knows, and then I was like, yeah, we need to do something different here. So we continued the track by going straight instead of with the chords here. And the cool thing is, this is still the old vocal. We had so many vocal versions for Nick Tim ready that we didn't really know what to choose for. And this is actually one that we didn't choose, but I can play it for you guys. So this is I Could Be The One before it was I Could Be The One, if you know what I mean.
I know you for some time. Oh, life changed while bones like yours and mine. Oh, dear boy, I wanna follow you. You're a wild boy, I am a wild girl too. Oh, dear boy, I wanna follow you. You're a wild boy, I am a wild girl too.
So that was the vocal before it was Nick Tim. And yeah, we ended up doing the other one, I Could Be The One. I think it was better and the hook was better. So that was a little bit of the story. And I know that we finished it like way earlier, but we didn't have the right vocal to release it yet. And we thought that Nick Tim, actually Fuck School, that was the name that people mentioned before, was never named by us. So we only called it Stranger. And after that was going to be I Could Be The One, and because it was better for the title. And before it was a vocal version, we called it Nick Tim to make sure that we had a name for the project. So it was never really an official name. So I'm sorry for the confusion though. Like, it was not our choice to, to do it this way. But let me see what we have more. We have Proxy Figura. How old were you when you released your first official track, and how many years did it take to get official? At Prox Figura, I was, 21 when I released my first track called Function 1, I think, on Masal, as a car recordings. And it took me like, I think, let's say 6 months to be good enough to release a song. But still, I still think sometimes that, that I have to improve a lot, and you learn a lot every day, so. I just see a tweet from Ultra. I'm super excited for Ultra. So if the guys from Ultra are watching, I know that we did the tent last year and I premiered one of my first tracks, and it was really sick. So this year I'm going to play main stage, and I'm going to be super excited. I have a lot of new material which I'm going to be playing later for you guys. So thanks Ultra, and also thanks Calvin Harris, because I know that he tweeted me a little bit. So thanks Calvin if you're watching. I want to say thank you for the opportunity that you choose to work with me on the song that we did together. And I'm happy to make me a part of your album as well. So thank you very much. Fragmatic, there's a lot of questions, so we'll just continue. When you create a new track, do you begin by the kick, the bass, or the melody? It depends. Like, I don't really have a particular way or thing that I do. It's always different, and it's very depending on what kind of track I want to do. Sometimes I start with a sample. For example, it's funny to say this, for the track Generation 303, I took a track from, let me see, it's called The Chemical Brothers, Block Rockin' Beats, I'm gonna import it for you guys here. And that's where I took the sample from. And that's sometimes enough to have inspiration for a new song. So this was the original song. I think many of you guys already know it. And it's always hard to find the right vocal sounds, so I sampled. And I released this one on Tiesto's label Musical Freedom, and it's always hard to find the right sample. So in this case, I just looked for a sample that I could use, and it's actually this part.
Back with another one of those block rockin' beats.
That's actually the thing that I cut and made a new track out of. You see, I can do it real quick.
Back with another one of those block rockin' beats.
And I took this part in a new song, and I changed it a little bit in speed and everything, and it turned into something like this.
Back with another one of those block rockin' beats.
So sometimes it's enough, and in the break I did the same thing. And basically this is just a vocoder which is saying back with another one, and then with the vocoder from Logic, and then with some filter. And actually a sample like this can be enough to trigger you to a whole track. So sometimes samples work great if you need inspiration. For me though. We have at UCD Style, Ask Nicky, any special collaborations for the future? Yeah, I have a lot coming up. I have a new song for myself, of course, the Symphonica ready. I have another song called Legacy ready. I can play that for you guys. It's a new song that I made, which is not finished yet, but I can play a little bit if you want. And that's going to be probably a collaboration with a very big artist from the UK, which I can't tell yet, but it's going to be him on the vocals. It's him, and yeah, I can't say too much yet, but this is going to be the instrumental version. Let me see if I can give you guys a sneak peek. So that's it. That's gonna be a part of a new song with someone from the UK singing on it. I can't say who yet. So that's that one. We have Symphonica coming up. I have a collaboration with David Guetta coming up, which is not finished yet, but I have it ready as well. I can play a few sneak peeks for you guys more in a bit. I just did a remix for Calvin Harris, which I'm super excited to play. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. I'm pretty sure that Calvin still loves me after. I'll just do a really quick thing. It's not even finished yet because I literally have an email that he said like, yeah, I want to change a few vocals, but I think it's very cool to just play a small part of it. Let me import it real quick. Let me see. Okay. So this is a song I did for I remix I did for Calvin Harris, just as a preview.
I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. I feel so high, I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight. I need your love.
Great vocals though.
I need your love. I need your love. I need your love.
So this one is coming up as well. I'm gonna play it at Ultra this year for the first time. It's not finished yet, but it's the first draft for you guys here. So I think the vocal's still not at the right place, and there are some chords I need to master it. This is still an unmastered version, so this is what an unmastered version sounds like to me. More. We have at Hank Brook. What kind of music instruments do you play? Did you take any lessons in it? I don't really play a lot of instruments. I play drums because that's what I did when I was small, and I do that for like 12 years. But next to that, I don't really play a lot of instrument. I play a little bit of piano. I do a little bit of guitar, but that's about it. I'm not amazing or something in it. Let me see if I can get the sound here. I want to play you guys something from the Moog. Inputs. Why is this not working? All right, there we go. So let's route it to you guys so you can hear it. You guys should hear it now. This is actually the instrument that I used for the drop of the one I did for Calvin Harris here. I was kind of tired of the soft synths that everyone used, so I used this the Moog here, and the little fatty, it's got a really fat sound, so I'll just try to replay what I just did. It should be something like this. Well, it's going great, as you can see. I need dun, dun, dun. Just try to find the right key. I need And the cool thing about this part is that The cool thing about the real Moog is it sounds real fat and it's really edgy. So I tried to use this in the remix I did, and it's gonna sound like this after. If you do it right, if you play right, not if you suck like me.
I need your love.
So that's it. That's yeah. That's so. Sometimes even this small thing, this Moog here, really inspires you to do something. We have here the Lewis O'Connor. What is the synth you used, and I could be the one? It's actually a few ones. It's not one. We use the Ace for the bass, and we use the Ace for the lead sound as well. Together, it's layered with two different Nexus ones. But the main one, let me see if I can find it. It is Syntology. Let me see. We have it here. Yuhi, the Ace. I'll route it to you guys. So the bass line of, you probably can't hear it that loud, but... Ja, kom even hierheen, ik kan het niet zien zo. Door de weerspiegeling. Ja. Let me see, for the bass line, it was this one. This is actually also the one I used for Dynamite. Ja. En dan gaat dingen draaien.
Ja, stay tuned voor de
Oké. Yeah, let me see. I think we took. Let me see if I can find it. Because we used it in his studio, so I don't have the whole project here. This is it. Let me see if I have the sound, the track here. So this is actually the sound. Well, that's as far as I remember it though. But this is actually this sound. It's called EXS Soft Plug, and that's actually one of the stock ones that it's in there. It's called EX Soft Plug in the Ace, and so that's the one you should try out and make sure that it's put to let me see, to legato or poly instead of trigger, because otherwise you're gonna have the problem that you can play chords. So now. So that's the nickname thing, basically. Yeah, I'm gonna play some music for you guys as well, because we're gonna have a live studio guest here. It's we have Vince Moogin in the studio. He plays a 1 hour set for you guys, and we're gonna interview some people. So I think there's something that you want to hear. Let me see. Of course, everyone knows my upcoming track called Symphonica. There's a lot of tweets about it. I'm sorry we couldn't release it earlier, but we just didn't have the time, and we had so many other records out that we couldn't, really play it. Vince Moogin is going to play a lot of unreleased protocol stuff as well. We have new releases by John Dahlback. We have Bass Checkers. And we have a release by Vince Moogin himself called Love Me Right. And yeah, there's way more coming on protocol recordings ready for you guys. So. I think I'm going to interview a few people as well. We have John Christian here. He did a remix for I Could Be The One, and I can play it for you guys real quick. I think it sounds pretty fat. and he's actually a good friend of mine, and he really made a cool remix. Let me see. Oh. By the way, if you still have some questions, send them now at Nicky Romero and do a hashtag Ask Nicky, and I'll try to answer it real quick. We have a few minutes to go, and then I'm going to switch over to a DJ set. But in the meanwhile, I'll still chat with you guys and try to answer some questions. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're going to be here for I think 1 more hour, so just make sure you stay tuned, and I'll just stick with you guys here. This is remixed by John Christian for I Could Be The One. It's going to be released real soon, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. So this is a remix by John Christian. It's coming up real soon. Before we stop here with the producing side, I think it's cool if you have a small question that you want to know, or like a real thing you're struggling with, just make sure you do a tweet at Nicky Romero with hashtag Ask Nicky, and I'll try to answer it as quickly as possible. Of course, I want to do a shout out to everyone who's watching, and thanks for tuning in. I saw people from LA, from Montreal, from Canada, even from Spain and Australia tuning in. So I heard that if people like stopped going to work, went home early to make sure to catch the feed. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you're gonna come to Ultra, Tomorrowland, or Creamfields, or all other big festivals, have an eye on this, because I'm gonna be wearing this, and I think a few of you guys are gonna wear this as well. So I think we're gonna switch over to Vince. I'm not sure if he's here yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna go up and just say hi to the guys. What? Yep. See you guys in a bit. Yo guys, we're here back in the studio, and next to me we have Vince Moogin. He's a super cool talent, and I work with him for quite a while now, and it's cool to have him back in the studio. He has a release on Protocol Recordings, so let's welcome Vince Moogin. So what's up, how you doing?
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm great.
So, what I want to know, like, you have your first release on Protocol Recordings ready. It's called "Love Me Right," and how did that track start? Like, did you have an idea or something? Or?
The idea was actually the sample. I woke up with "Oh Baby, Love Me Right." I thought, oh man, I should use that
because it's an old track. It's like is it like an old track or sample that people should know of? Or something?
I think it's from the 80s or something. It's kind of a disco sample. So I only took the lyrics and the vocal part. And then I started making the music, actually.
Okay, so it's just like I just explained, that you just like grab a part of a track and put it in a new song and create a new song out of it. Because basically, this track was already strong enough without the vocal as well, if you ask me. I'm not sure if people heard it yet. It's "Love Me Right." It's going to be the first time that we played it, and especially on the radio or live on a stream. For how long do you produce? Like, for people who don't know you yet, like, is there a song that they should know from you? Or
I think for 4 years now I'm producing house music and all kinds of styles. So actually this year that I've tried to develop the more EDM sound, and this is actually the first record that comes out, and so I'm very happy that I can put it on Protocol Records.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on it as well. Yeah. And is there like, what kind of software do you work with? Do you work with Logic or Ableton or?
Logic, almost everything in the box. So I got some keyboards out of the box, but especially Logic.
Okay. And if you have any tips for producers who are also starting out, like, I just try to explain people what things I use and what things I do. Is there any tricks or advice you could give to young producers as well who are watching the stream now?
I think for me it works the best when you just don't get everything, just get a few things and get them by head know every trick, every button on it, and then you can work with it. If you got Logic and a few other plugins and just know them by heart, then you can make a big song.
Yeah. So less is more, basically.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Definitely.
Shout out to Alesso. Less is more today. So
Less is more, less so.
yeah, exactly. So no, we have a lot of new songs coming up. He's gonna play a set, and we're gonna answer some questions in the meanwhile. So stay here, and if you have anything you want to ask or you want to ask me, Vince, we have Nilsson upstairs, we have John Christian upstairs, my whole team is upstairs. We're gonna invite them in a second. Also, the guy who made the dubstep edit of Symphonica is here. So yeah, so basically just fire your question over to my Twitter. It's at Nicky Romero and ask Nicky with a hashtag, and I'm gonna try to get your question here in the show. So we're gonna enjoy some Vince Moogin here, starting off with his new song "Love Me Right" here for the first time. So you guys enjoy. This is a shout out to Headhunters because I know he's watching. He's my neighbor, and he's busy now in the studio. And people ask me if I'm gonna do a track with Headhunters real soon, and that's I can confirm that I'm gonna do a track real soon with Headhunters as well. So Headhunters, if you're watching, ik weet dat je kijkt, ouwe. En als je nog langs wil komen, ben je meer dan welkom. So for everyone, if you have like things you want to ask, just send me a tweet, and I'll try to get back on you. I know that Headhunters ask me how I can show you how to do like a hardstyle kick. So Headhunters, if you're watching, I can maybe help you making a good hardstyle kick. I mean, you can always ask me. If you can tell me how to do a house kick though. So we have a lot of, so what are we coming up? Vince Moogin, what do we have?
There's actually a new track from it, also the first time people can hear it, so it's called Airwolf. And after that I got a bootleg of the new Arno Coast, so that one's coming up. A lot of new exclusive protocols tracks and some other tracks with me, myself and I, so if you love the Vince Moogin tracks, keep listening.
So yeah, we have new records by John Dahlback coming up. He signed a track on Protocol Recordings, and you're gonna hear it for the first time here. And we have a new Bassjackers also signed on Protocol Recordings, and way more to come. So make sure you stay here. If you have questions, I'm gonna answer a few of you guys. Let me see. What do you think of the sound of 2013? Will it be like a modern talking war? You know what? I think that everybody's gonna, go a little bit harder. If you look at the hardstyle guys are doing great, and I think that guys like Showtech, Headhunters, and Wild Styles are doing great at the moment. And if they're gonna make house, it's gonna be super fat. Also, there's a track coming up from Noise Controllers with Showtech, which is gonna do great. I think that's gonna be the sound of this year. And if you look at Cannonball, they did great. And I don't know. I hope there's some groove coming back as well. So what do we have more? We have, let me see, Matthew, at DJ Matthew, is it true your first release on Beatport for any new producers is the most difficult to get signed? Your first release is hard because, nobody, you really have to get experience and make sure your tracks sound right to release it. And if I were you, I would not hesitate and, try to get your track released as fast as possible, just to make sure that that the track sounds right. That's the most important thing. So I think that's important. So for people, if people are living around this area of the studio, I'm not sure if if people are like close by. We have people from Veenendaal or Ede. Just send a tweet that you're from Ede or from Veenendaal, and maybe we can get a fan here to the studio. Someone who's watching, to go to the studio and just come have a drink with us. So if you're from Holland and if you're close by, send a tweet that you're from Ede, Veenendaal, Utrecht, Arnhem maybe. If you're close, just send us a tweet and you're more than welcome to come by the studio and have a drink with us. So we're gonna listen to a lot of new music here. I think we do have live Arno Cost. Oh, this is the Arno Cost one. Well, this is one of Arno Cost mashups. There we go. Vince Moogin here.
your hands up in the air. Put 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 your hands up. 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 Raise yourself and turn your head up.
So we have a few people here in the studio, and I want to introduce you to some people I work with. We have Nilsson here, and he's also working on the project we did together, Still the Same Man. He's a good friend of me, he's there for a while. If you want to introduce yourself, like we have, I don't know where the Toulouse mask is, but you know, like if you wanted, I could give you a proper introduction. So Nilsson here, then we have John Christian, he did a remix for I Could Be The One. And also he has a lot of great tracks coming up himself. He worked on Still the Same Man, and I'm happy to have everyone here in the team. And I think we have Marcus here. Marcus looks a little bit like Avicii today, but
Knowing, man, I need a cap.
Did you make levels?
Levels, every level I make.
Oh, okay. Well, he makes all levels. If you doubt who Marcus is, his real name, he's leveling it out, and it could be his brother, I think. But then no, he also made the remix for Symphonica. The dubstep edit is his, so keep an eye on him as well. We are inviting some people here to the studio randomly on Twitter who are living close by, so hopefully we're gonna have some people here in a bit, and we're gonna have a drink with everyone. So I think we should do this more often, because I'm really, you know, I think it's really cool. Yeah, it's exciting to have everyone here and spread some stuff, and you know, love of music. So we have here Vince Moogin on the decks with a new track of John Dahlback, Nuke. It's here on Protocol Recordings. So make sure you tune in and you stay here with us on the stream.
Protocol Radio with Nicky Romero.
If you feel it, say hell yeah. Say hell yeah. Say hell yeah. This is love, this is love, this is love. Can you feel the love? Can you feel the love? Can you feel the love?
Protocol Radio with Nicky Romero.
So we're still here at the live stream at Nicky Romero's place, and we have the crew here. We just I think it's the time to put out you said it like a cheers, toast, cheers, a toast. A toast is a sandwich as well.
Salute.
Thanks for I want to thank everybody for joining in and for tuning in tonight for the first like live stream. We're gonna do this. I hope we're gonna do this more. If you guys like it, please let me know on Twitter if you like this, and we can do full production tutorials online, how to make kick line, like how to make a bass line, how to make plugins, how to do plugins, how to make like a certain sound that you want to know. You know, we can do this more. We can invite guests. Next time I'm gonna have Headhunters in the studio, Wild Styles. Maybe I can invite Hartwell sometime. So I think it's just nice, a good way to get everyone involved in the music and maybe more a little bit like in the studio. And we want to help out people who just started producing as well. So still here next to me, Vince Moogin, one and only. Do you have like Twitter or like do you have social media where people can look at your tracks or you know, can listen to your new tracks coming up?
Yeah, you can find me anywhere, but of course it's at for the Twitter at Vince Moogin, Facebook _Vince Moogin, SoundCloud Vince Moogin. Actually, it's just my name and you can find me. So follow me on Twitter for all my new releases. For example, this one you're gonna hear after the interview. The YouTube channel, Facebook, just the regular stuff.
Cool. So is there any particular what's your first coming release now? Is it gonna be the one in Protocol?
Upcoming release is Love Me Right in 2.5 weeks, the 18th of February. So that's worldwide. We have a release party in Holland. That's the 21st in the Escape in Amsterdam. This is very cool. I heard you can play some.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna try to. Yeah. So yeah. So what is your favorite plugin? I see a lot of people are asking like, what's a plugin you use a lot? Is there anything?
The one from Dala Live. How do you know it? The banana?
The sausage fattener.
The sausage feather. No, there's not really just one favorite plugin. Just the best plugin is inspiration. Just
I agree in that. I agree in that. I agree in that the inspiration is the most important thing. And one thing, do you play with BeatSync?
Of course. every track's 128, so.
There you go. Yeah, I prepared my set already for Tomorrowland. I already have it here, so you know, so I already know what I'm gonna play for Tomorrowland. I pre-recorded everything, so. No, of course not. But no, I don't. What do you think about the BeatSync option on the CDU 2000? I mean, a lot of people like it with the quantize. I don't really like it because it also affects your looping and everything. So I wonder what you think about the BeatSync function. Do you use it or not? Or do you not DJ at all? If you DJ, let me know if you use the BeatSync. I don't think it's working great, but if you if you use it, if you need it, I don't really think so. I think if you just have good ears, that's good enough.
Or a laptop.
Or a laptop DJ, yeah. What do you think about laptop DJs at all? I mean, I thought of using a laptop while playing, but I don't think it...
I don't think it's not only about the mixing.
There's one guy, Zed. If Zed is on stage with a laptop, it's still great because he plays Who Let the Dogs Out and he makes a party out of everything. This is a shout out to Zed if you're watching, and if you heard about the live stream today, you should come next time from Germany. Just come over to here and yeah, we're gonna take some bacon and maybe a Dutch beer, not a German. So we have Vince Moogin in the mix here. A few more minutes.
Yeah. feel like home. You make it feel like home, like home. Yeah, like home. Never been so scared of losing, but never understood the calm. So take me where I wanna be, back in your arms. 'Cause you make it feel like home. You make it feel like home. Yeah, like home. Yeah, like
So here in the studio, we're still live. DJ John Christian here next to me. He made the remix for I Could Be The One, and you're gonna hear it here for the first time, I think.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
I think it's good to know, like, for how long are you producing? Because I know I'm producing for like 3-4 years, but you, how long do you produce already?
For about 15 years now.
There you go.
So far.
Yeah, so actually, and the cool thing is that John Christian made a lot of songs before, and he did a lot of different genres as well. And I'm happy to have him on Protocol real soon, because I heard you're gonna have a release on Protocol in a while.
It will be finished this week.
Okay, there you go. So for everyone here, like who doesn't know the team yet, we have Yorick here. To do a step forward, Yorick is the guy taking care. Oh yeah, what do you want to say?
Oh yeah, wake up, yeah.
There you go. Yorick takes care of the online part, and he runs Protocol recordings online, so he does all the all the posts and everything. So a quick shout out to Yorick from the Pole. Then we have Sander here. I'm not sure if he fits here. Sander is my manager, and I'm super happy that he's here with the team. And so how long are you producing?
Well, it depends what I have to produce. But if I may, I would like to introduce one of the most important people in our team who is very camera shy. His name is Hatim, and he doesn't want to go on camera, but he has to. So please look to my right. And there you go.
So this is Hatim. Can you please explain us what you do on Protocol, or if you even work? Do you work?
Sometimes, yeah.
So what do you do? Can you please explain us, like for people who are watching, what you're involved with the team? What do you do?
We are always on tour, so you may see us this weekend if you're in London or in Prague. But well, actually, I'm his tour manager and event director of Protocol. So happy days.
Happy days. We just came back from Australia, and I think it's fair to say that we had some cool experiences. So if you look at this room here, all these people together here are actually it's not only me who's behind Protocol recordings or Nicky Romero. It's the whole team. I'm only doing the productions and I'm DJing, but it's a whole team that that helps me getting where I am now. I want to thank everyone who is involved. Also my booker Natalie and Bobby Cooler from Aim Only. Everyone who's involved, Ruud van Eyck for the designs of Protocol recordings and of my online appearance, and I want to thank everyone for for watching and for joining us here at this stream. We're gonna do this more often, and hopefully we're gonna have you here back again. Next time we're gonna do some production tricks. If you have any tips that you want to have on the show or actually on the stream, please let us know at Nicky Romero, #AskNicky, and hopefully we can help you guys out next time. Just let me know what you want to know and what you want to see, what kind of subjects do you want to have, and we're going to take care for next time. And hope you guys have a great night or have a great day. See you soon.